This is the biggest salmon caviar farm in the world. If you're into sushi, you've probably had caviar sushi before. Delicious Japanese rolls are commonly garnished with fish roe of varying colors and shapes. Ikura, or salmon roe, is by far the most popular and well-liked variety. The question is, where does such a tasty component originate? Have you ever pondered how salmon caviar is produced? Don't worry, we'll reveal all in due time. But first, let's discuss what exactly salmon caviar is. Salmon caviar is unlike other expensive eggs since it is not only delicious but also beautiful and memorable. Red caviar made from salmon roe is one type of non-sturgeon roe. This thin layer, which contains a wealth of information, ensures that every batch of fish, whether wild-caught or farmed from the Atlantic, Pacific, rivers, or aquariums, will have something unique to offer. Caviar made from salmon is the pinnacle of omega-3 rich foods, with advantages including reduced stiffness and joint pain and a lower risk of heart disease. This caviar deserves its reputation as a superfood, and it's easy to see why. Caviar isn't just good for your health, it can also help you get the sparks flying in a romantic relationship. The nutritional value of caviar has long been praised for an increase of virility, as this has led to the belief that eating caviar has various sex benefits. Where does the best caviar come from? The best quality caviar comes from the countries around the Caspian Sea, home to the beluga, ossetra, and sevruga sturgeon. For centuries, Russia and Iran have dominated the caviar market, producing the highest quality and most in-demand caviar in the world. More recently, China has become a significant exporter of caviar. In 2017, around 45% of all caviar shipped to the U.S. came from China. The sturgeon fish, of course, lays the eggs, but the quality might vary greatly depending on the farming, harvesting, and processing procedures used. Caviar is obtained from various types of sturgeon roe by one of two caviar harvesting techniques. The eggs in the roe sacs are separated from the membrane by rubbing the roe sacs through a stainless steel mesh screen after they've been retrieved from the sturgeon fish. After being cleaned, the eggs are examined with tweezers to ensure that any contaminants or damaged eggs have been removed. Caviar is then salted, packed, and weighed. Once the roe has been harvested, caviar production is relatively simple. Now we'll talk about the two primary methods of collecting caviar, as well as the types of fish used in the process. So exactly how does one go about gathering caviar? The eggs of a sturgeon fish before fertilization are what are used to make caviar. Sturgeon roe can be extracted in two different ways, the traditional way and in a more compassionate way. While the conventional procedure involves killing the fish, the vivace or C-section technique preserves the fish's life while still removing the roe. The when and why of each of these procedures will be covered in a further depth. Is caviar obtained by killing fish? The question is, do you have to kill the fish to manufacture caviar? And it's a common question. Unfortunately, the answer is generally yes, even though we share our clients' worries about the plight of many caviar-producing species. Although no-kill caviar technologies have made it feasible to collect caviar without killing the sturgeon, many farms continue to employ the traditional harvesting process for one fundamental reason: to ensure the highest possible caviar quality and consistency. Traditional techniques for collecting caviar. The production method for caviar has changed very little over the years. Fish roe harvesting is a time-honored tradition that has altered very little over the centuries, despite developments in farming, fishing, and production technologies. Traditional Russian and Iranian harvesting methods persist today. However, they use farmed sturgeon rather than wild. Nonetheless, killing the fish is still necessary to harvest its eggs in order to make good caviar, despite the fall of rough sturgeon numbers. Number 1. The mature roe-carrying fish is slowly cooled in ice-cold waters in modern fish farms and fisheries to limit their activity, diminish their fat content, and help put them comatose prior to harvest. Number 2. When the fish is unconscious, it is killed swiftly, its fins and tail are washed in clean water, and an incision is made along its belly so that its roe can be extracted. Number 3. The roe sacs of most fish. Number 2. These are removed at the moment of killing to prevent the fish's post-mortem release of a chemical harmful to the eggs. After the egg sacs are removed, the remaining fish can be harvested for their meat, skin, and other usable parts. Number 4. In order to remove the membrane from the eggs, each roe sac, or skin as they are known in salmon and trout, is screened on a sieve. And number 5. After a second wash and filtering, the green eggs are drained, weighed, salt-cured, and sorted. And that's it for today's video. Hey, if you want to see more such unique content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.